Okay, Twitch, say hi to YouTube. YouTube, say hi to Twitch. You know how I go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Been a quick minute, you know. So now we're here, just getting over a cold too as well. I played in this tournament, right? 5-rounder. So it was great. I actually played only 4 rounds because I had to catch a flight. So this is round, I don't remember what round this is. I think this is round 3. Yeah, this is round 3. And I was playing white pieces against, you know, I already had a win in the first round. I had a win in the second round. So now I'm on the 3rd round here. Oh yeah, and YouTube, guys, you can subscribe here if you watch from Twitch. There's a YouTube channel right there where we're gonna post this analysis. So I get, you know, whites against the international master in round 3 here. So very strong, very strong. And here's the game. So I go e4, he goes c5, and then I, you know, for me, like I rarely lose with this opening. OTB, like I can, you know, count on kind of one hand how many L's I have with a C3 Sicilian, you know, C3 Sicilian for the kill. So after C3, there's D6 and then D4. And this D6 move, I've seen in his games that he did go for this, but this isn't just generally the best, right? So he goes D6 though. It is a line, it's playable, but you know, let me turn the eval bar off actually too, so we can really analyze here. This is how you want to analyze without that bar. Okay, so let's do so C takes, right? C takes, and then G6. And here, there are some problems because he's going for like the dragon setup, which is cool. But here's a move order issue that you can run into, and which he actually, you know, navigated it very nicely because he's a strong IM. Like, you know, he's very strong. So I go knight C3, you know, develop. Bishop G7, knight F3. And I think really this year, one thing I've been doing a lot, especially in my last round game, my analysis when I played B6, my thought process was exactly what I'm going to tell you right here was, bro, you just got to develop your pieces and get them off the back rank. Develop the pieces, get them off the back rank, right? So really just, you know, get your pieces off the back rank. So I'm just developing, right? Get the knights out. He go knight F6. The problem with this knight F6 move is and I played this move instantly. I go check, right? Because there's a lot of traps that can happen right here. Bruh. You can definitely get in a lot of trouble right here. And a lot of times, Bishop D7 happens. So of course, when Bishop D7 happens, you can immediately get in trouble. Why is that, chat? So we always like to keep this interactive. We're gonna keep it around maybe 10-15 minutes here, so it's not too long. It's a short lesson. But why is Bishop D7 wrong? Lou, what it do with it? Thanks for the 17 months prime, bro. So why is this generally wrong? I've won a lot of games here, and there's a lot of tricks and traps, you know, for C3 Sicilian players. If you like C3 Sicilian for the kill, you know, that's what we call it over here. Served me very well. I love this opening, and I was able to make a good game here. But I want to show some of the traps here. So what do we have? Queen A4, B7 is weak. Somebody said Queen A4. What else? All right, Queen A4, B7 is weak. There's a key idea here that happens all the time. And there it is, zealous and Seagull. Correct, E5. E5 is the move, boom. And a lot of times what happens is, I've caught many people, which you literally can do this today, is after bishop takes B5, they're expecting you to take, but you hit him before late splitting, as we always say, in order, right? You hit him there, and now he's hit, you know, it's a wrap, like 2 pieces. Like, you got your piece back, you're getting something out of this already. So it's really scary because they can get in trouble. So sometimes, you know, they'll take, which is an idea too as well. But there's also this knight G4 idea. Then after knight G4, I go E6 here. This is really, really nasty stuff, right? Really nasty. If bishop takes, then obviously you can take a little in between move here. King takes, you can hit knight G5 on first. I'm just showing y'all what I've done to people in this opening. I know this, right? So it's a very nasty opening. And then if pawn takes, well, then obviously this is ugly. Knight G5 still annoying. Okay, you take here, that's fine. Right, boom. E6 is weak, G4 hanging. I got hit with this before, but this is defended. I come back with the knight. This is hit, this is hit. I mean, this is, you know, people would think that you say you play the C3 Sicilian for it to get a solid game, but like this is nowhere near that, right? So I always looked at the C3 Sicilian in an aggressive way where you can actually look at lots of openings like that. Any opening you can look at it in an aggressive way. But so, right, this is really nice, really fun stuff. So I play, you know, back to the game, right? Back to the game. When he go knight F6, I go bishop B5, and I'm like, let's go. I'm like, bro, I'm ready to like rip him off the board. So like, I'm ready, dog. Get him off the board. And then he goes knight F to D7. I was mad. I ain't even gonna lie. I was definitely mad, bro. I was like, okay, well, here we go. Here we go. You know, like it's not terrible, you know, but it's just a weird knight move. Like you develop it, and then you go back here. Like you know, you feel good as white, but like you know, okay, whatever. There's no tricks anymore. There's really kind of nothing. You just have to play chess and develop. Here, I was actually really thinking of some stuff like h4, h5. I ain't even gonna lie, but I was like, okay, this is too much, and I don't need to make this type of weakness. This is a compulsive thing I used to do. Probably a year ago or so, I would really do this, but now it's more about, okay, what does a position need? What do I need to do? I mean, I do a healthy balance of like hyper aggressiveness and making sure I'm following fundamentals. Like I need to develop. So I chose bishop e3, right? I'm gonna develop a piece, get it off the back rank, and maybe hint at going this way. Maybe, you know. So he goes a6. I go bishop c4 with some sacking possibilities. Doesn't really work, you know. Actually, I think it does in some lines. I looked at some stuff at like if he goes b5. Let me see if the eval bar jumps. Can I? Oh, it is. I can sack it. Okay, let's see. There is a line like this. King takes. Knight check. Obviously, king f8 is 96. King g8. Oh, yeah. E8 is 96. Queen a5 takes. Here, and bishop h6 is what I remember doing in some lines in c3 Sicilian, stuff like that. Stuff like that. But, yeah, so he didn't do that, though. He didn't do that, obviously. J. Dot says, Canty a year ago would have pushed pawns to avoid a boring game. Yeah, correct. But I mean, I can still push the pawn, but I like the fact that I'm giving myself more options while following principles and still staying aggressive. That's my idea now of playing chess, is I want to give myself options. I want to develop my pieces and stay, you know, obviously flexible, give myself options and opportunities, and stay fundamental, like develop my pieces. So bishop e3, he play a6, I went bishop c4, and he castles, so no f7 trouble. And it's still, you know, I develop another piece. So my rooks are about to be connected. And I'm hinting, like, I actually may go this way. I don't actually know yet. I didn't know because I was, like, really kind of, you know, playing chess. I'm off the head. Like, I might go this way. You don't know. Maybe, maybe not. He goes b5, and he was like, you know, definitely go that way if you'd like. So I was like, all right, cool. And still, it's resembling a dragon Sicilian, which it is. It's like a dragon where he has, like, you know, even maybe a knight or even c-file. Like, I mean, I could castle this way, but it's definitely asking for some trouble. Even Granddad Tal had to evolve, but he was always ready to start fire, says Chess Fool. That's exactly right, bro. So after bishop b3, he goes knight f6, which again, you know, you always want to kind of count how many times they move a piece. So he moved it once and then twice and then 3 times, right? So still not terrible, but, you know, you count that kind of thing. So knight f6, and then I was like, all right, cool. You know what? I'll take this time to castle, you know, because you move this piece. Completed development. Rooks are connected. Now I can start doing stuff, right? This is usually how I tell students to, like, you can start doing stuff. He goes bishop b7, or he goes bishop b7. And here, guys, this is where I came up with the cool idea, right? You know, white to move. If you know, you know, but where do you go in this position here? And I'll explain the idea. I think I was talking about it earlier, you know, if you was listening, but white to move, what do you do? Knight. Well, it's definitely with an N. Always with an N. KD5, we unfortunately cannot play KD5 there.
Bruh.
But we can go knight d5. Knight is with a N. K is king. I just put the king here. Yeah, can you go king d5? I mean, you know, you could. It's not in this position. Knight d5? Yeah. Possible. Very possible, right? Exactly, Chess Fool, exactly. So here's this idea, guys. Check this out. So e5, the problem here is, like, obviously I'm putting the bishop on the long diagonal, trades as well. Pushing here weakens, like, the dark squares. Siam Soccer says knight g5. Prague says knight g5. You know what? That's exactly what I played, was knight to g5. This is a really cool idea. And actually, after the game, he was actually saying, like, he didn't think that this was a good idea. He just didn't really know. Which you can actually sack here too as well, which I was not considering. There's some wicked lines here, like when I turn the engine on, I'll show you. But this knight g5 idea for me is about provoking weaknesses, and also, like, here's why am I even thinking of this, right? This pawn is hanging right now. There is problems with this pawn. So you need to deal with this pawn, or else he just takes it and you just kind of lose the game. Like, why are you giving up 3 pawns for nothing? Right? So then your options are push this pawn, Give up some dark squares for knight d7, easy knight c5, rook c8, knight b6, knight c, like, you know, you're fine, right? Or there's an option with you know, e5, which is, there's a trade, you open up the bishop, and this is the, and or bishop c2, which is passive, like I don't really like this, right? Or queen d3, I'm moving the queen here, I already, like, what am I doing, really? So, and I have knight g5, and knight g5, out of all of these, this is the one I like, knight g5, because it defends it. And then you have to kick it away, which he's going to do. It naturally, especially if you flip the board here, naturally, they're going, you're going to, bro, what are you doing? Get back, right? Get back. So then he plays it, right? And I'm not going back to f3, which I can. But here's my idea was knight to h3. Knight h3. Like, bro, what is this? The knight, believe it or not, it actually can come into lots of places you can sacrifice. Look at this pin here. So imagine the knight getting here and here in 2 moves, right? Very nice. Also, the bishop is attacking the pawn. So I've created, not only have I moved my knight back, but I hit you with a tempo too. And now I can defend the pawn with the f pawn here. And this knight can swing in, maybe go to f2 as well. Also, look at this bishop, right? So when I go f3, it's really making that bishop kind of bad. While I still have some attacking chances here. Maybe you even hint it like that, right? So there's so much I can do with this idea. It was really cool. And then when I turned the engine on, right, I was really hyped about this, is when I turned the engine on, it told me that knight g5 was actually here. Look at this, bro. Look at this. Let me put my head down. You see what that says right there? Right? What does that say right there? You know what I'm saying? What is that? Let's get back to the analysis. Let's get back to the analysis. Okay, so knight g5, h6, knight h3, right? Here goes knight h3. And then b4. So this b4 move, which was definitely, you know, obviously something I was looking at, hinting at. He hits the knight. I go knight d5. I'm thinking, I'm like, you know, borderline, not winning, but obviously I'm feeling good. I'm feeling initiative wise. I'm hitting b4. Like there's threats. There's ways for him to go wrong. A lot of them. So he goes knight takes e4, and then I go queen c2 with a very cool idea. Thanks for the hydrate there. Get some water. I have a very cool idea here, guys. Check this out. So I go queen c2, I attack the knight, right? If bishop takes, obviously bishop takes. You hit the rook, the knight's hanging too as well. So that's a problem. That's a huge problem. So, okay, we refresh. Let's refresh this. And the knight is hanging. So after knight f6, you always want to pay attention to the diagonals. I can take, obviously, bishop or pawn takes. Take with the pawn, same idea. Queen takes, shake and bake. GG, get him off the board. That's kind of over. Right, bishop takes the same way as even with check, which is even nastier. You can just kind of resign. I resign here. This is nasty. Very nasty pin. Very nasty, right, Mopes? Glorious, thanks for the phone. So I was hinting at this, right? I was shake and bake, stick and move, exactly, Chad, right? Nasty, right? So I was hinting at this nasty idea. So I go queen c2, and instantly, this tells you how strong this guy is. I mean, obviously, you know, he's a Jedi too as well. Like, he's not a slouch at all, in fact. So his UFCF is like 25 something. So he goes e6. He plays it instantly because I was like, yeah, this is the move. Like, you have to play this or else I'm just kind of winning. He goes e6 with the idea of, obviously, we can trade everything out right here. And I calculated this where I was like, okay, you know, we go through this. He goes knight d7, or maybe even rook a7 is what I thought. Rook a7 because of the, and like, okay, he gets developed. I'm still better here, but like, I'm not really that convinced. It feels like there's more, right? And there is. So after e6, I go knight c7. Hits the rook. If rook a7, I go d5 was my whole idea. Hit the rook. I also calculated what about knight c5, right? Interference here. So bishop takes, boom. Bishop takes. Queen takes is an in-between, but it defends, right? I can take the rook, come up in exchange here. So if I take this way, pawn takes, queen takes, I'm hitting the rook over here. This is my whole idea. So I go knight c7, and then after knight c7, I'm feeling good, bro. Look at the eval bar, bro. Like, it's, believe it or not, okay, it's equal. Okay, hold on. Okay, actually, this is funny because this game was actually equal here. But after knight d7, it goes up. And I was like, I think I had like a +3 somewhere in the game later on. Somewhere in the game. But from a practical standpoint, you know, you're up in exchange. Like, forget what the engine says. Like, I'm getting an exchange here. So knight d7, right? Knight d7, I take the exchange. I'm feeling great, bro. If you look at this position, right? And like if I turn the eval bar on, right? Boom. Eval bar says it's plus 1.6. That's not winning. Like you would expect to be up a lot. 1.6 is definitely better. But like think about that, you know, from a human standpoint, like 1.6, like how many advantages have you blown when it was more than that, right? So it's not really that much, but you are as a human. I think I'm definitely like, okay, I'm going to convert. Like I have the exchange. I have the exchange. I feel great. So okay, queen takes. I go f3, right? Because he has this huge thing. It's diagonal. Diagonal. He goes rook c8, right? Rook c8. Queen e2. What's up, chat? What's up? What's going on, Matt? In chat. Call Gotham Chess the hook. Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I just came back from a tournament. I had a code too as well, chat. So I'm feeling better, much better now. But yeah, I had a code there. I was playing sick and had a great tournament still, bro. 2450 performance. We're going over this game here. And I play International Master, very strong. And we're doing it right now. So Queen e2, right? Queen e2 happens. Knight f6. He goes back. He moves the knight back. I'm literally up in exchange, bro. I'm feeling great, right? Like I'm up in exchange, my guy. So I go Queen d2, which I'm hitting the h6 pawn. He goes g5 to actually block the bishop diagonal. And then I try to trade rooks. I think they said that this was an error. Chat was saying. No, rook c1 is fine. Okay, so they like it. So rook c1 is fine. Just checking what the engine was saying. Rook c1 takes, and then he went a5. I went knight f2. Great move. They go a4, or he goes a4. I go bishop c4, you know, to keep the diagonal. Maybe move the bishop this way. Maybe come back, tuck it like this. Knight b6. I go h4. I find this cool idea. So here, I actually spent a lot of time, you know, because you have to think about this from like, you know, look, this guy, yes, I'm up in exchange, but he's not about to just lay down or like give this up, right? You have to think about this for a second. Like, this is a very strong international master. Like, he's not about to just, you know, I'm up in exchange, but you know, it's not going to be easy, right? It's not going to be easy. So we got work to do. Engine always wants you to come with the opposite rook file. Yeah, it's always that, bro. It's always that. What's up, Chess on Earth? What's good, man? Hope you know well. I have a small announcement to make. I'm requesting your kind if I may. Oh, yeah, definitely. Absolutely. You can definitely put whatever you like in chat. Chess on Earth. 100%. Shout out to you, bro. Okay, so knight b6. Eternal question, which rook to move? Yeah, it's kind of annoying, right? Like here, like which rook to move? Let me just see real quick, though. Yeah, it's crazy. It's such a big difference. And it's like, bro, look at this. Like, why am I... Are you kidding me? Like, that's just crazy to me. It's just crazy to me, bro. But that's even a thing. That's ridiculous. It's a team battle in an hour. 10 subs on the line. Oh, that's crazy. Kindly play for the team. All right, guys. Yeah, get in there. We gifted. Yeah, he went crazy in chess.com chat. Yeah, he did. He was gifting all the subs over there. But yeah, chat sub battles are fire. So if you would like to play, definitely join. Definitely join. Put it in the Discord too, Chess on Earth. I'm sure people that's maybe not even in the stream right now might be able to pop in there to throw it in there. In the announcements or general. Thanks for announcement. Legend sir. No problem, boss. No problem. Gukesh? Yes, sir. Yeah, Gukesh went off. So a5, knight f2. Yeah, just move this knight back, right? I gotta move the knight back. You know, g4 might be a thing and get the knight into play. So knight f2. He goes a4. I go bishop c4. Knight b6. And I notice here they're like, listen, I don't have to really move anything because the knight is coming to d5 anyway. If I take something, it's going to kind of expedite some piece play. Right, you know, I really exercise some patience here, and actually that's nice that the best move was h4. Let me turn it off though, but h4 is best move. That's why I play h4. So like, yo, this is where everything is. This is what's going on. I guess this is what Poker was talking about. Poker was like, yo, Canty ain't gonna find h4, and then he gifted subs when we found h4. Thank you, Poker. Appreciate the love, my guy. h4 on the board. So I played h4 out here, you know, OTB. Just with the idea of like taking, and like, this is what we want. We want to break this up. So h4, he takes, I take, and then he goes queen a6. And here I don't have to do anything. Rook takes b4. We're just going to be knight d5, right? So I just go bring the rook back to c1. And then he goes a3. And here, this is where I missed, because b3 is a miss. But I had to keep calculating here, and I should have taken. I should have taken here. And the idea was, actually, I didn't like queen takes, and for some reason I thought that he just had enough, but I have enough, which, like, I don't know, I thought that this was some type of idea for some reason. Like, there's an in-between move here. he's hitting this, there's this. And like, if you just look at this, like you can already tell, whoa, there's some serious initiative. And this is what I was, from a human standpoint, calculating. I was like, bro, this is crazy. Like, and do I have enough over here, or do I have to go for a perpetual? Can he run away? These are all the questions you ask, right? And you do have to calculate, but like that was the best here. And then the engine's like, you know, kind of laughs at it. So that's why I went B3. So I went B3. But apparently it was winning. Okay. So I went B3. Oh, let me refresh. Knight to D5. He goes here. I take. Let me turn the eval bar on now so you can kind of see where we are. So this is what the evaluation says, right? In this position, it's plus 1.6. Yes, I have the exchange, but there's play. You know, there's play. Takes. I take on G5. He goes Queen B6, and I think for a long time here. I think for a long time, bro. Because there is a lot of things to do. There's a lot of things to do. And I obviously settled for the obvious, which is Bishop H6. But I looked at everything else first. And I settled for Bishop H6 because I had to calculate this line here, which he goes for, which is Queen takes D4. Queen takes D4, and now you have to actually be very accurate here, right? So for me, I did not want to take this queen because he gets very active, and the engine doesn't either. They go with Queen G5. I didn't like this end game. Like with this Queen G5, I saw Queen F6, and here for some reason I thought I had to take on F6, but I realized that I could take on G7 and go in this end game. I saw Rook C4 was coming next. I didn't want to allow this, and like it's still not that clear. Like you see how annoying this is. It takes like 2 moves to get here, and actually in post game analysis, I think he went for this. He was showing me this, and I was like, yeah, I didn't like I know I go Rook C2 or something, you know, Knight C3, and then we was kind of calculating, or maybe he went Bishop H6 or something. But it was kind of like, yeah, I'm winning, but like not the easiest. Not the easiest. Do you have 94? I do. I actually do. Weirdly enough, like I said, 94. Like, do I take? Maybe Bishop here. Maybe I have like Rook C6. Like you still have to calculate like, do I ever let the knight get here type thing? Like it's not that easy, you know. This was not that easy. At this point, Canty went to Uncle Debbie mode. Yeah, thanks for all those who joined. Those who haven't joined begins in 20 minutes. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can post again and make sure you put it in the Discord. I don't know if you did or not. Chess on it. All right. Do you feel comfy grinding down Magnus style? Yeah, actually I do. I do. Because I've studied so much Dvoretsky, like so. So I'm actually comfortable with it. Bishop H6, he takes, and I go Rook C4, which apparently was just wrong, right? They wanted Queen G5. So after Rook C4, he checks me, right? He checks me, and then I thought for a while here, guys. I thought for a while, because you have to look at all the ways to block. Rook C1, Knight D1, and King H2. I looked at these, bro. I looked at these. The best move is Knight to D1. And with Knight D1 here, the thing, okay, so look at this. From a human standpoint, let's turn everything off, right? And this is why, you know, when you're with the engine, or like, it's always harder OTB, right? So here, exactly, right, Poker has it. He says you're basically giving up a knight, but you win the game. Correct. But this is all through calculation. Bruh. So after Knight D1, I have to calculate after Knight C3, do I go Rook G4 or do I go Queen G5? Right. How do we give up the knight? Do we go Queen G5? Well, okay, it would have to be Queen G5. So Knight C3, Queen G5, takes, maybe moves. Or maybe there's Bishop E5 first. Like, how do we do it correctly without this being pressure, you know, and messing this up? I mean, and then there's some cases where like Queen takes A2, giving up some stuff, and then moving the Queen, and then I can't stop the Queen, like some strange type of deal. So I was like, hey, look, bro, you know what? I'm not going to mess this up. There's also a King H2 idea too, that you can really get in trouble with this. Like, we actually looked at this line too. This was in post-game analysis. He showed me this, and I was like, oh yeah, I would go G3. He checked, and I'm like, oh yeah, I looked at this. You know, you hit the bishop. Oh yeah, cool. Rook H4. And then he showed me, and then boom, and I was like, whoa. Bruh. What is this? And he was like, yeah, you know, Bishop takes 93. I was like, what? Bro, wait. Hey, man. Hey, buddy, I didn't see any of this. Like, whoa, this is relaxed, buddy. Man, that was crazy. I was like, oh, this is nuts. Like, and he was showing this unstoppable mate. I was like, dude, man, I'm so glad I didn't go for that. What the heck is that? I was like, Whoa, man, listen. Hey, man, I thought we were friends, right? So rook c4, let me refresh. So I'll go rook c4. He checks me, and I was like, all right, cool. So knight d1, I was just not feeling. It just didn't feel as right with the bishop e5 ideas. And, like, you know, I figured, like, it is a move, but, you know, if I could really mess this up, you know, still with threats of bishop a6. Okay, he has maybe a check at some point, but bishop e5. I have to deal with this too. There's too many. It's just a lot. There's a lot, right? So I was like, okay, I'll go back rook c1. Right, they give a double question mark because, you know, obviously they didn't like this. And they actually like, from here, you go bishop h6 takes and queen a2, and I have to take a perpetual, something like that. Something like that. There's a perpet in that with sacking the rook on h8 to get the queen to d4. Oh, you mean like, is this one? There's this here that they're giving right now. This one. Which I saw a line like this. I actually remember, I was like, oh, maybe I could, you know, it's funny. I actually remember getting somewhere around here, and I was like, you know, maybe I get a queen g5 in. Like, I was looking, obviously, at perpetual ideas, but I was like, well, I want to try to win this, though. Like, in the queen line on f3. In the queen line on f3. f3 is here. f3 is here. And bishop h6 takes... When you show the unstoppable mate. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay, here. She says a perpetual. Needs 2. Check. Check. Takes. What's the move? Which one? There's queen g5. They show 94 here, too, as well. Oh, bishop takes? Come on, this one. Then 93 is apparently... is GG. This one's mate in 10. Yeah, rook h8, king g7, and then GG. Yeah. It's like sticking, but king takes. Yeah, the queen, you can't get through here, you know, because of the knight, right? Maybe queen d4. Queen d4, e5. No more checks. Like nasty. This is ridiculous. I mean, you could check with the rook. Rook h7. Try this, right? See how it's sticking. King g6. Queen g5. Nice, bro. Nice. Bruh. Okay. Queen g5. Okay. Cool. Cool, bro. Cool. Gotta sell the whole house to stay alive. Exactly, right? Exactly. Yeah. So, all right. So here's the last part was rook c4. I went rook c1. He went back and then rook c4 and it was draw. Like, you know, I was like rook c4 and I offered draw because, like, I'm pretty sure he's gonna repeat here because I was gonna go for, you know, queen takes. I was happy. So if he's gonna go queen a1, I'm like, all right, cool. You're gonna go back. So I just offer here and he accepted. Because I was waiting for this. Like, if you're not, then perfect. Like, this is what I actually want. Now I can press. Here I was planning to press. If he went for this, I was going to plan to press. Because I have pressure here. Knight d3. I can swing the rook around. You move the bishop. Like, I can take. I can, you know. If in a perfect world, if I have to, I can sack the bishop for this. Just in case something got crazy. You know, I was like, all right, cool. I can sack this. I got these. Like, this should be, I could push. I could push, you know, from it. So, it was pretty nice. But that was the analysis there. Thank you, Parker, for that. So, yeah, that was 5.